engineer in the machine. When I landed my first engineering job at a big defense contractor, I thought I'd made it. I was in my mid-20s, building cutting-edge systems for the military. The kind of stuff you tell your parents about and watch their eyes light up with pride. But once the shine wore off, reality set in. Every year, it was the same. 2% raise, 4% if you were lucky, and endless meetings about budget constraints. Promotions? Those took years, and only if someone retired or died first. I kept my head down, did my work, and told myself, one day, they'll notice. Spoiler alert, they didn't. After a few years, I hit a ceiling. No more room to grow, unless I moved into management. So when they offered me a project engineer role, basically a test run for management, I jumped on it. It was my shot to prove I was worth more than a 3% raise. I suddenly had a team of 4 engineers, a designer, and 2 admins reporting to me. We weren't just building components. We were building an entire system from the ground up. The hours were brutal. I spent 100 days away from my family that year, hopping from testing sites to customer visits to vendor audits. I missed birthdays, anniversaries, even my kid's school recital. But I told myself, this is what it takes. This is how you move up. And damn, did we deliver. Our system brought in $1.6 million in its first year. We even got a patent and a nomination from the U.S. Air Force for Contractor Technical Team of the Year. We were flown to D.C. for the award ceremony, shaking hands with big names, being told we were the future of the company. I was exhausted but proud. Performance review season came around, and I was ready. 10 out of 10. That's what my boss gave me. He said things like, "You're one of our best project leads. Your team's success has really put us on the map." I walked out of that meeting floating on air, until I heard something that made my stomach drop. One of my own team members, someone I had managed, got promoted early to a senior role. And me, just the standard 3% raise again. I laughed when I first heard it. You know that kind of laugh that isn't really a laugh, just disbelief wrapped in anger? Yeah, that kind. So I scheduled a meeting with my boss. Me. How did one of my engineers get promoted and I didn't? Him. Oh, I didn't think they deserved it either, but they have a different manager. You're doing great though. Just keep proving yourself, and we'll see next year. We'll see next year. Those words echoed in my head all the way home. For years of loyalty, $1 million project, a perfect review, and I was being told to try again next year. That night, I sat at my kitchen table, staring at my laptop. I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. Peace. The next morning, something in me flipped. I stopped killing myself for a company that didn't care. No more unpaid overtime. No more just one more test. No more missing family dinners. I clocked in at 9. Clocked out at 5. I took every vacation day, every Friday off I could. And for the first time in years, I felt human again. My boss noticed, of course. He'd make little comments like, "You seem a bit less motivated lately." And I'd smile and say, "Just focusing on balance." But I wasn't just resting. I was preparing. Education, free exit strategy. My co-worker, the one who got promoted, decided to take advantage of the company's MBA reimbursement program. The catch? He'd have to stay at the company for several more years afterward. I wasn't about to tie myself down like that. But there was another benefit most people ignored: technical training. They had a nice budget for continuing education, no strings attached. So I signed up for FEA, finite element analysis, and 3D modeling classes, the kind of training that makes engineers really valuable on the market. My company happily paid for everything: flights, hotels, tuition, because they thought they were investing in the future. They were, just not the future they expected. A month after finishing my last course, I quietly started applying to new jobs, targeting roles that required exactly those new skills. It didn't take long. One offer came in that made my jaw drop: double my current salary, plus overtime pay. I remember sitting at my desk, reading the email over and over. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. It wasn't just about the money, it was validation. Proof that I wasn't crazy for thinking I deserved better. When I walked into my boss's office to give my notice, he looked confused. Then panicked. Boss, wait, what? We just paid for all your training. You're essential to this project. Me? Yeah, about that. I found a better opportunity. Boss, don't you feel any loyalty? Any guilt? Me? Not after we'll see next year. He tried one last desperate move. How much are they paying you? Maybe we can match it. He looks at the number. That's more than I make. And that's when I knew I'd won. That next year, with overtime, I made 3 times what I used to. I worked for a company that actually valued my input, where hard work meant something. My old boss. I later heard he struggled to replace me. They ended up hiring 2 people to cover my role, at higher salaries combined than what I'd asked for. I guess they finally learned what my time was worth. Just a few years too late. Climactic payoff, 10 to 11 o'clock. Narrator, calm but triumphant. The same company that ignored my work, underpaid my success, and dismissed my potential, paid thousands of dollars to train me, just so I could take those skills straight to their competitor. Karma doesn't always come fast, but when it hits, it's beautiful. Reflective wrap-up, 11 to 11:20. Sometimes revenge isn't about hurting someone back. It's about walking away stronger. They thought they owned me, but I took their investment and turned it into freedom. Outro call to action, 11:20 to 11:40. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and subscribe for more tales of sweet, satisfying karma. And tell me in the comments, have you ever been underpaid or undervalued and found a way to get your revenge? Until next time, remember, sometimes the best revenge is simply